We are going to get started on today's show with the game of the century, decade, the game of the something. It's the Bills versus the Chiefs in the divisional round of the playoffs.
But you called it, Beanie. Check this out.
Bills.
That's going to be a good game.
The game I'm so nervous. We'll get to our picks too, but I'm really nervous about the Bills and the Chiefs. I didn't want that game yet. That's too good of a game. That should have been like the AFC Championship game to me. I didn't want them to face each other in the divisional round yet.
I honestly knew it was going to be a good game, but great, excellent, epic is not even any kind of adjective to describe this game. And I can't even pinpoint on any level where the mistakes occurred or what they could have done better.
It wasn't no mistakes. And that's what we were talking about. It's not like we can say the Bills lost because of penalties. The Bills lost because of this play. The Bills, no, it was the only difference in that game to me. It was two things. Well, bottom line, the difference was Mahomes. That boy is serious. He had 13 seconds, or really what you said, it was 10 seconds.
10, because he had 3 left.
Yep, 10 seconds to go 40-something yards to get in field goal. And did it. And the Cowboys couldn't run a play with 14 seconds. And well, anyway, we ain't gonna go there. But anyway, this game was epic. That quarterback battle was absolutely amazing.
For the ages. The only thing about the whole entire game, it exposed the overtime rules and processes to me. First of all, the only mistake the Bills made was calling tails instead of heads, because if you look it up, heads is more than tails by 50 or 60%. Yeah, 60 to 40. So you always call heads, but he called tails, and that did it. But go back to it. The way Josh played, he deserved an opportunity to touch that ball. I'm just sorry.
Yes.
I get it. I think both teams, when the owners meet up after the Super Bowl this year, the Bills owner, if he don't get up, whatever his name is, and say, we need to change these overtime rules or processes, because that was not fair. He deserved the opportunity to take his team down the field, because I promise you, it would have been more epic than anything else.
Right,
I've never seen a game like that.
And that's a comment that I was seeing online more than anything, is that people wanted the overtime rules to be changed so that Josh could have a chance, because that game was just amazing. And that's what I was going to say. The difference, the only thing I could see was the difference was Mahomes and the coin toss. That was it. Nobody, to me, made any glaring mistakes. It was just
both of them. It was just a great game. It was. And thankfully, we won, our picks, because we did pick the Chiefs because it was in Arrowhead. That was the only thing. But I promise you, had quarters been 13 minutes instead of 15, the Bills would have prevailed.
Yeah, and this is one of those games where literally whoever had the ball last would win. That was it. There was no differentiation except who had the ball last.
I wish they would have gave him enough, man.
And what did you say about after the game with Mahomes and Allen?
Oh, it was so. Let me holler at you. I like my football players based on character. We about to get back to football, y'all, but just a quick, But Mahomes is kind of winning me over, and I'm not a Mahomes boy fan at all. But he kind of winning me over, because, like, when Heineke made that diving catch, he was the first one to reach out to Heineke, 6'5", formerly known as 6'5", to say, "You do ball and great play," but he ran the length of the field to dap it up with Josh. That's pure respect, because I think Mahomes appreciates somebody that puts that effort in, and Josh pulled all that bulldog out of him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I just love that he recognized the magnitude of the game. He recognized how big of a battle this was. How
real versus real. Real versus real. I want to see them pay from now on to both of them retire. Because if this just the beginning, what we got forward to look forward to when they really get seasoned. Because Josh still, his second or third year? Mahomes may be at 4.
Yeah, this is Mahomes' 4th for sure. I think this is Allen's 2nd. You're right.
Woo! That's some nasty football right there.
And I feel so sorry for the Bills fans. It's like, I think everybody pretty much was rooting for the Bills except those in Chiefs Kingdom, because we wanted to see something different. The Bills haven't gone in so long. And so many people online
have never won. That's my thing, to have that ride on you. You've been 4 times consecutively without a win, and then you get to that every year. The Chiefs are the Bills killers. You know, they had that number. So I'm praying next year that they still able to make it to the playoff, but they can meet them in the AFC conference game, like you said, because I think they just get there. Maybe that will push them over the edge. But what more could you have asked from them, Sabrina?
Nothing. I don't know that you could ask for anything more from that game. It was amazing. So many people online were like, they want this to be like a basketball rule where it's the best of 5 or the best of 7. Just let them play.
Man, that's going to take all the thrill out of it. I love the one and done because you got to put it all in.
Yeah, I don't think
that is more physical than basketball. It's easy to run up and down the court. You got no 3 and 200-pound dude burling at you. One and done. Don't change it, but please change that OT. I think because at first they changed it even to the field goal. Because remember in the past, you know what I'm saying? It used to be touchdown, right? Was the field goal? Something changed about the overtime rules when I was little. I can't remember what it was, but they need to change that again. Everybody should get a touch. It just decide who go first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great game. We pretty much called the whole playoff, and I must toot our own horn with that little reluctancy. The one game that we did love because I was reluctant to say all of these are going to be right. But next time I'm going to follow my heart. But let's get into game number 2 in my book with the Bengals and the Titans. I'm starting to think having that bye week may be a curse. Is it a curse or a blessing? Because some games do well. Some teams do well when they miss and some teams don't. But I kind of felt like the Bengals would win only because Henry was just coming back. I felt like they look out of sort a little bit the last home. It was just something in my gut saying the Bengals going to get this one. And they did. But, come on, Sabrina. The Titans defense sacked Burrows 9 times.
9 times.
Henry had over 100 yards. The receivers had over 100 yards. So what's the anomaly that's left out in this one is Tannehill. They may have to switch him out. They had it. They had the game, if you ask me. They played a phenomenal game. They should have won that game.
Yeah, and it's funny because, and we'll talk about the other game too, but both of the number 1 seeds in the playoffs out.
Done.
They're done. And
so like is it a blessing or is it a curse?
I don't think it's good. I think they get home, they lose their momentum, and they get cold a little bit. And whereas the other team is like they're there for the hunt. They're like, we gotta keep winning. They have the mentality of keep winning. With other team is coming off cold and then trying to get hot. And I just think it can mess them up. So I don't know.
And home field advantage is not that much of an advantage more. I think playing through COVID and not listening to the crowd all last year, maybe they done got used to not. It isn't having home field advantage is not that much of an advantage anymore. I'm sorry, because look at all 4 games. Only the one, only the Chiefs. But you know what I'm saying. So it was like. This really, it doesn't matter to me anymore. But yeah, I just think the Bengals they did enough to get past. Was the game exceptional? No. What was the score? 13-10.
It was very close.
Yeah, it's very close. And let you know that it was a defensive battle. But when I saw them sacking them, I was like, oh, defense gonna come through. But they didn't get any production out of Tannehill. I'm sorry.
If Tannehill had gotten even just one more touchdown, that was it. Yep, and so many people were calling for him to be ousted after the game. So
I'm not even a Titans fan, but I feel like he was the weakest link.
He was. He absolutely was. And I'm real happy. I think everybody's happy for the Bengals and their fans because it's been forever.
Okay, how can you not root for them? Let me holler at you. From this moment on out, I have to root for the 49ers for the rest of the playoffs because not only did they take out them boys, they went in Lambeau and took out the liar. So I'm totally okay with them taking the whole thing.
Yeah,
that game it was painful to watch for the first 3 quarters because nobody was scoring. And I'm like, this not going to end where Ern needs to put up points to win. And I was like, he's not getting in the end zone. This may be a problem, even though this is the one game we did not predict that the 49 will win. But them keeping Ern in check, all they have to do. See, this is why people say, why do you think Aaron Rodgers is MVP? You have to look at the meaning of MVP. Most valuable player to that team. If Ern is off, they're not winning.
So
Now,
let's touch that because we talked last week about who we thought the MVP would be. With Aaron being out now, do you think he's going to get it?
he was out. He was out last year, and he still got it. Remember?
I still don't think he's going to get it.
Who was going to be? Nobody else has been more viable to their team than
Mahomes.
He lost too many games, Sabrina. It might be a close call.
That game that they played yesterday.
I get it, but this part you don't understand. I believe the voting is already done.
Oh, it is done, and Mahomes is going to get it.
But I don't think he's gonna get it because this game was included in before they voted.
I get it.
Okay, we'll see. I would love for it to be Mahomes because I do think he's great. Anybody but Aaron. But my gut telling me when the votes were cast that everybody was thinking that he was the MVP of his team. But
that time.
That time. But I'm telling you, this is why I think it, because when he was off, they're not going to win. When I saw that it was only 10 points, I was like, this is a done deal. They can possibly win, and they did. The 49ers kept them in check. The defense kept them in check. Nobody had an outstanding game as far as yards or passing. It was really a blur to me. I watched it because I wanted to see who would win, but I thoroughly enjoyed being sent home in Lambeau. Second year in a row where he's been sent home from home field advantage. This is why I said previously, it don't mean that much going in home field no more.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was just realizing that this game ended on a field goal as well, and the other three of the four games ended on a field goal at the last second, and this was one of them. And so I know that was probably more heartbreaking to lose right at the end.
The kickers don't up their salaries now. They can go in now thoroughly and say, look, you're going to need me to get you through the postseason. I'm going to need a couple more mil. I want to start getting paid like them wide receivers.
Yeah, it's funny because so many people, there's this debate of whether kickers are athletes. They athletes when you need them to win that game.
I bet they are.
Aren't they? So pay them appropriately. I'm not saying they got to get paid.
Have Tucker or Hopkins? Who would you rather have?
Okay.
The athletes then. But yeah, it really, like I told Sabrina, it's really not much of a report. It was back and forth, defense heavy game. But ultimately they kept Aaron in check and they won the game. Do you think he's going to be back in Green Bay next year?
I do not. I absolutely positively 100% feel like Aaron's already gone. He's gone.
To go where? Because this is my thing. If I'm gonna leave a team that I make it to the playoffs every year, but I don't make it over the hump, I need to go to a team like how they say parallel move to a team that's on my level. But all those teams have established quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's gonna weigh his options.
He's gonna go. Any team he goes to he's gonna go down instead of up.
Well, he already said, I don't want to be a part of a rebuild here in Green Bay. So first of all, he's not going nowhere where they're already not playoff contenders, or if they're rebuilding, he ain't going. And my mother called, your aunt called, we were talking last night, and she said our uncle, who was on a previous show, said that he thinks Aaron is coming here. I said, it's no way on God's healthy and green earth he's coming here. He sees the mess we're in. He's not coming here.
That's this mess. He's not going to, man, please. I wouldn't play him.
Bobby was like, no, Bobby said, we're going to offer him too much money. He's going to bring his boy here, and whoever he was talking about, I don't know. But I'm saying to myself, it's not about the money at this point. It's about him getting another ring.
He got him. He got more money than God could allow. You know what I'm saying? He ain't tripping off no money. He wants some more rings. So
I don't know where he's gonna go, but I feel like he's not going back to Green Bay. I feel like he's gone. What do you think?
I don't think he's gonna leave. I think they're gonna feed. Because Sabrina, if I was Aaron, I would look. I'm gonna go someplace that's already up and running. Those teams are set. Any other teams that's on par with them have Tom. Then you have Mahomes. You have what team needs a quarterback that's playoff bound? Okay, the Steelers. I'm only thinking
the Steelers.
The Steelers could use him. You know what I'm saying? And Tomlin is a great coach.
He's used to playing in the cold.
Yeah, so he can maybe go there, but he could go to the Steelers. That's a good fit for him. But end up coming here, we're probably not even on his radar. It's too nasty.
I wouldn't come here at this point. I would not.
I wouldn't come here even if I was the worst player. If I was how many they got? 1,500? 1,502. I wouldn't come here. So it's like, no, not until they fix some things.
Mm-hmm.
If he does come, surprise me and Sabrina, let's go.
If y'all don't stop, come here.
What are you doing?
Come here. He didn't take up his whole face. Anyway.
And the last game, we called this one too.
Yes, we did.
Rams took out the Bucks.
So Brady will not be able to repeat once again. And it's funny, everybody's already asking him, is he going to come back next year? Of course he is.
No, I think next year going to be his last year.
You think so?
It was some leaked on the internet where he had announced before the game that he was going to take some time to think about it. So everybody think that the games are staged but if I was him, whether I had won or lost, I would have did it as well. Maybe he had an inkling that he was going to lose because this keep it real. I figured out they was going to lose. Maybe he knew all better than me. He played the game. He didn't have AB or Goodwin. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They looked off. Maybe he had an inkling that they were going to lose. So he said, spoke to a reporter before the game. It doesn't mean it's rigged. It's too many moving parts for it to be rigged. So just throw that out right now. It's too many moving parts, in my opinion.
Right.
There's some bad calls make you think, make you go, but at the same time, too many moving parts.
Yeah, and even if it was scripted with that many, like you say, moving parts, somebody gonna mess up their part and they gonna go right. So,
but that was a great game. Tom almost brought him back, but that last field goal still deal for them. But that was exciting because the Rams was handing it to them. But in old Tom glory, he brought him all the way back almost. He just ran out of steam.
And Tom said he wants to go out on top in his mind, like he wants to go out, winning a Super Bowl. So clearly he didn't do that. So he's going to be back next year.
I think one more against Sabrina. He can't play till he's 50. You can already see the difference to me. Like he still is great in his own right, but he doesn't look as crisp. It's because he's getting older. Right. Imagine me doing a walk at this age. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the movements right. Then when I was doing it when I was younger, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It looks different.
Exactly.
I felt silly in that moment. but I'm just telling you, Sabrina, that was a great game. And Dale. I'm telling you. When they stacked that team, I was like, wait a minute. But then they lost like 2 or 3 games. I was like, they stacked that team for nothing. Who would have known? Mm-hmm. Vaughn from 2010.
Yeah,
that battle was I hear them call his name all season because he was injured when he first came to the Rams. Remember, man, he was all over Tom like a t-shirt.
Listen, white on rice.
That's Grandma Oak saying. I'm telling you, he was on them. So I don't know. Before these games, I was kind of going. The AFC might get it no matter who wins on the NFC side. But I'm kind of 50-50 now.
I think the AFC is going to win. Let's get to our picks. We already talking about it. We went over all the games. Let's just go with it. Our picks. There's only 2 games left. This is it.
Yeah.
We got the AFC Championship, Bengals versus the Chiefs. We got the NFC Championship, the 49ers versus the Rams. My concern.
We'll do the easier one first. Let's do the NFC first.
Okay.
The Rams.
Yeah, and that's not who I want to win, but that's who I think. That's who I think is
for the 49ers. Because the 49ers forever get love from me forever.
Now, don't get me. Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the Super Bowl this year in the Rams Stadium? So anyway, yeah, I think the Rams are gonna win it. Unfortunately, we don't want them to.
No.
And then the other game. For me, it's
now that's harder to call. Let me.
No, not for me. And to me, I think it's going to be the same result. The team that I don't want to win is going to win it. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals.
I think the Chiefs going to beat the Bengals too. Yeah, I think the 49ers done ran there. God done used them on their mission to take out my 2 nemesis.
Right.
So I'm all good. I think it's time to lay it down. But do give Kyle Coach of the Year awards. That would be Coach of the Year.
Okay. All right.
So that's it, you guys. So AFC we going with
the Chiefs.
And NFC game, we're going with the Rams.
So that's who we're predicting for the Super Bowl. Not who we want, but who we think is going to win it. I still can't believe Mahomes brought them back.
If I could just watch, I might go watch that game again after we go. Sabrina,
or at least the fourth
quarter, the last 5 minutes.
At least the fourth quarter.
When it was 1-something, I was like, they lost. Then whatchamacallit put on his helmet and get the football. It's 13 seconds. I'm thinking, no way. That Bama went 40 yards in 10 seconds. I'm like, oh my, I was screaming. Got to get my best friend on. I was screaming in her ear. And she was like, is the skins fast? I said, girl, bye. This is the game of the decade. I
was sitting here. I wasn't screaming. I was sitting here. It was 2 things I kept doing. And literally, I was like,
I could not.
Over and over again. Yeah. And shout out to the Bonacera family. I know you don't know them, but they are diehard Bills fans. I was texting the wife during the game. And when it got down to the 13 seconds, she's like, oh, my husband is so happy and blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, wait a minute, I think we spoke too soon. And then
it's gonna be all right. We all gotta take an L sometimes, but they just gotta muster up. I don't know where their weakest link is. They had I can't pick out one thing. Should they have scored more? They did what they could do is 36 points. Who doesn't win with that many points? But they just went up to somebody that was a little bit more formidable. Then they played well together. Had quarters been 13-minute quarters, we would be talking a different story. Yeah. So I'm Gwen.
I'm Sabrina.
Have a blessed, safe week. Stay safe, stay blessed, love someone, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.